Roger, Roger.
Welcome, everybody, to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is yet again another one of our Star Wars The Clone Wars reviews. Today, we're going to be discussing, Season 1, Episode 18. I'm looking at it right now and tripping over my words.
Mystery of 1,000 Moons.
Yes, this is part 2 of the 2-part Blue Shadow Virus saga.
Yeah. Sounds so much more interesting when you say it like that.
I know, it wasn't that interesting.
Blue Shadow Saga. Yeah, so all the little elements that I was saying that would have made it a better episode, they did in like the first 5 minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
Like the whole... Okay, so the whole premise is... that little robot that scared the shit out of Padme and Jar Jar actually still stole one of those little vials and was able to release it, and which actually infected Padme and Ahsoka and all the clone troopers in the bunker. But the bunker was able to be locked down. They had 4 to 8 hours to find a cure, and Anakin and Obi-Wan go off to a planet called Lego. I think it's Lego or Lego, or it's Legos. Lagos? Lego?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I like Legos.
Anyway, it's a moon surrounded by a bunch of other shattered moons and stuff. As soon as they get to the place looking for the special plant to create the extract that's going to be a bit of an antidote, they realize that it's like shattered remnants of starships and everything. Mm-hmm. And they quickly deduce that there was some sort of defense mechanism that was set up in place. They get down to the planet and they meet a boy named Jabo Hood, this kick-ass little kid with a radio that can go across galaxies far, far away to tune in to like ska, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the fuck else you gonna do besides sit around, skank and rebuild droids?
So he rebuilt like all these destroyed like separatist droids. And so he's, as technically savvy as Anakin was when he was a kid too. And so they've got that bit of a connection. But everyone on this planet feels absolutely trapped because whenever someone tries to leave, they all die. The people on the planet attribute it to some sort of god or, godlike figure.
Yes. Droll.
And what it really is just a separatist defense mechanism that's sort of like a Death Star that reflects off of different satellites in that system, or orbiting around that specific planet, to be more precise. And it's those little beams that destroy them. As Anakin and Obi-Wan realize that Ahsoka and everyone essentially has been infected, they realize they have to get out of here, and no one wants to help them because everyone says it's a god, and how can you go against a god? And so they have this little tribunal where they meet one of the angels that Anakin talked about in episode 1.
Yes. She was gorgeous.
Pretty amazing. An angel. Anyway, this angel, I guess, assisted them in coming up with a plan tangentially, and ultimately they were able to get off the planet, rescue Padme and the remaining alive troopers and Ahsoka, and all is right with the world.
Yes.
So that was a super shortcut version of it all, but I don't know. What'd you think of the episode?
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what else were you going to say about it? It was pretty straightforward. Like, all the fun, suspenseful stuff was right at the beginning, and then they left, and then it was just sort of like, oh, okay, they're going to kill some Venus flytraps with some laser swords. That's cool.
That beginning was the best.
It was a fucking horror movie. As soon as the bomb goes off?
Yeah. They're just running for their lives. Oh, that's what I wanted out of the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
So desperately bad. I just wanted that element of real, genuine danger.
Oh, yeah.
And we finally got it. And I didn't even care that the ending of this was so stupid and hacked together and, clean cut. All I care about is we got one good little bit in the first, third. And the rest of it was kind of meh. I did really like Jabo Hood. Like, I enjoy seeing a kid. It reminded me of Aftermath, where Mr. Bones,
Definitely. Yeah, except those definitely weren't Mr. Bones.
No.
Mr. Bones is so much cooler.
Oh man, a
God, that's
serial
such
killer freaking robot.
Yeah.
I hope he comes back. Wouldn't it be badass if they reprogrammed C-3PO with Mr. Bones? And that's
uh,
the red eyes that he sat up in?
oh man, that'd be so funny to see.
That would be
Especially
great.
with him like walking around with trophies around his neck and shit.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
that'd be dope.
That'd be sweet. Um I don't really know what else to say about this episode. I mean, it we're only 5 minutes in. It was it was interesting. It was a
Yeah,
thing. It happened. And
it totally was.
they
Now, okay, question for you. How are you watching these?
I'm watching them via a totally legal downloaded copy.
Okay. Because I almost wonder if we're watching two separate ones. Because I think we've had that issue before where I've been watching the director's cut and you're watching a different version.
I do not have the director's cut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember the ending being slightly cooler, but
What
I mean,
was your ending?
I don't remember. There was a little bit more to it than just, oh, okay, here's the shit. You guys are going to live now.
Oh, really? Mine felt really rushed, like it was cut together. Like there was a whole process of, like, they got the ingredient, but there was never a point where you saw them mixing and testing the ingredient to make the elixir and then providing it to anyone.
Yeah, none of that was there, of course.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, why? You already know how they make them.
Yeah.
You know,
With
space
science.
wizard.
With space science.
Yeah, that'd be my
Star
guess.
science. I don't know. It felt really rushed to me. Is all. You know, you had this massive danger. They were still way off on this, forgotten planet by the time that they were infected.
That is one thing that confuses me.
There's no fucking way they would have gotten back to him in time.
Well, I just wondered where the fuck it is because they're talking about how it's, deep within the Separatist region. But, I mean, Naboo is, that's mid-rim world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like how far? Because it doesn't seem like it took them any time to get there or get back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hyperspace, but still, even then, I mean, it takes some time to get from the outer rim to the inner core. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
It was very fast, very safe, very frustrating.
Well, it's one of those ones where they could have probably turned this into a 3-parter, but I'm sure it wouldn't have been interesting enough. But it could have explained shit like that.
I wanted them to explore Dr. Vindy more.
Yeah, I kind of figured they would because we really didn't get too much in the first episode. I mean, we got his whole shtick and why he was doing what he was doing, but
I just he didn't try. After he was caught, he was just like, well, my droids will take care of everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't know, try to escape. Once the Jedi leave, I don't know, do something to try to reignite more of your beautiful viruses. I don't know, just keep your machinations going. Don't just give up and then have us focus on your droids trying to break out of their lair. Just hit a button. They controlled that lair until fucking Padme and Ahsoka got there. Why would they not have secret release hatches?
Yeah, but they hit a manual override to lock everything down.
Whatever. There can only be one manual override.
Yeah, it's a manual override. I would imagine it would make sense.
There'd be more than one. Every hatch would have a manual override. That's just OSHA, all right?
Well, this is a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is way before OSHA.
Naboo OSHA wasn't a thing at that point. I mean, there's not even handrails, for fuck's sake. So definitely there's no OSHA.
I didn't see any fucking wheelchair ramps or anything, so...
Yeah, it's not even accessible!
I think somebody needs to write someone about that.
What if the entire blockade by the Separatists was really just over accessibility? And they're like, look, you need to have ramps. You need to have guardrails. You need to have worker rights. And Naboo was like, fuck you. No, we have slaves. Don't
slaves
tell us.
and stairs.
Yeah. We just totally got on the wrong side of history over a fucking labor dispute.
I mean, it could be taken that way.
I think that's how Dooku took it. He was like, they clearly have the right to have ramps, Obi-Wan. That was my attempt. All right. I have nothing to
Just,
say
just
about this. I don't.
yeah, yeah. There wasn't really anything I hated or loved. I mean, okay, I did love the beginning. Like I said,
Yeah.
as soon as the contaminant got out and everything locked up, all the lights changed to like just a solid red mixed with the solid blue. Like it was remnants of a Jalo film. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for bright colors.
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Mm.
Definitely. I do wish. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more exploration because the Separatist Death Star dish that fired off that like sort of recurve bowing laser beam. I wish there was something about that because that was so Death Star like.
Hmm.
Like it was too much Death Star like to not have been like a testing ground for Death Star tech. You know, like in Resistance where we saw a testing ground for the Force Awakens version of the Death Star,
Hmm.
Starship Base or Star Killer Base. Like that could have very easily just been that.
Oh,
And it
definitely.
would have perfectly made sense with all the destroyed fucking planetoids all around the planet. I mean, it would have made perfect sense. Plus, it would have tied it in deeper with the mythology, and I
Mm.
don't know. It was a lost opportunity, I thought.
Yeah, they really screwed the pooch on that one.
But all right, that's going to do it for this episode, I think. I have nothing else to say.
Nope, I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you guys. William, great to see you in the chat, man. We're going to jump over to our next review here in just a second. And until then, keep watching Star Wars The Clone Wars with us, everyone, and may the Force be with you.
There's more than one way to skin a womp rat.
Wake up, Princess Mimi.